So that's the news about Pokemon Sword and Shield. But no, we will not be talking about Sword and Shield. We'll be talking about why third-party companies still hate the Nintendo Switch. Why third-party companies that are not indie companies or Japanese companies, or of course licensed games, and why third-party games still refuse to put AAA games, most particularly Western game companies, but some Japanese companies like Square Enix are guilty of this as well. Lots of games are still avoiding the Switch in 2019. This angers a lot of people. Why? Because the Switch is going to outsell the Xbox One, and EA is still saying the Switch is not profitable enough. Really, EA? Really? The Switch is not profitable enough, but it's going to outsell the Xbox One within 2 years. The Xbox One sold 42 million copies according to VZ Charts in 6 years. The Switch, 2 years, it's already about to outsell it at 44 million copies. So, because last year the Switch had a very underwhelming year because there were no new games. It will likely pass. Will pass. There's some news about Pokemon Sword and Shield. I'll have to cover that soon as well. The new Pokemon that actually are not that ugly, disgusting, weak, but they were saying. And didn't know there was a direct. I knew there was a direct today, but I didn't know what was coming. But why do third-party companies hate the Switch so much? Ubisoft, because with Ubisoft, for example, a lot of the new games are still not coming to the Switch. They're saying that the Switch is too weak to handle the games. Too weak. That is the same excuse they use every single time. But Mortal Kombat 11 was able to run on the Switch. That's fine. People hated Mortal Kombat 11 for other reasons. Not because it was on the Switch, because of politics being forced down people's throats, microtransactions, everything that plagues modern games today. But then we have these we have basically EA. They refuse to make games for the Switch since the Wii U days because they think the Switch is the freaking Wii U. They think the Switch is still selling horribly. They say the Switch is not selling good enough. They say the Switch doesn't have good enough graphics. So you know what, EA? Screw you. Oh yeah, they have a sea Pokemon. Oh yeah, we have to cover that soon. The wooden horse Pokemon at least doesn't exist. But this is like really. It's just EA. But it's not just EA. It's Bethesda is the only company right that is like playing the new games. And Bethesda has people hate them right now anyway, so upcoming Switch games. Let's see what third parties have for that's not indies or Japanese games. So we have literally just nothing. We have a Wolfenstein port. We have a Doom game that they're both Bethesda games. I won't be surprised if Raids 2 is coming to the Switch. Yeah, that Raids 2 is not coming to the Switch at all. Upcoming games, Switch games. Well, we will got upcoming games. Kingdom Hearts 2, no, not 2, 3 did not come to the Switch. Really? That game will have sold 1 million copies on the Switch alone. Crash Team Nitro Racing coming to the Switch at least. Shenmue 3, that's PS4 exclusive. We can't talk about that one. But Borderlands 3, not coming to the Switch. But Borderlands has not been established on the Switch. Ghost Recon Breakpoint. The original Ghost Recon came out on the Wii. They had no problem making that on the Wii. But no, we can't make it for the Switch because, of course, the Switch is too underpowered. Because that's the same thing but they made it for the Wii. Ghost Recon. And they complain about power. And Star Wars, that's EA. EA refuses to put anything on the Switch. Sekiro, also not on the Switch. Metro Exodus, not on the Switch. The Division 2, not on the Switch. Resident Evil 2, a game that should be on the Switch, is not on the Switch. You see all these third-party companies are still skipping the Switch. Because they think the games won't sell good enough, even though the games do sell on the Switch. Of course, VZ Charts is not working anymore because they just delete all the sales for stupid reasons. But you look at all these third-party games are selling decently on the Switch despite there being other Nintendo games out there. Let's look at Octopath sold 1 million copies on the Switch. That was a third-party exclusive for the Switch. Some other games sold well on the Switch. Crash Insane Trilogy sold 1 million copies. Yes, Crash Insane Trilogy sold 1 million copies on the Switch. Skyrim sold 1 million copies on the Switch. What more do these third-party companies want? Do they want every game to sell 8 million copies on the Switch? And they're old games they're talking about. Crash Insane Trilogy, that's an old game. Crash Bandicoot, that's like a 20-year-old game, but they won't put Spyro on the Switch. Even though Crash Bandicoot Insane Trilogy, the only reason I was on the Switch was because the developer for Crash Insane Trilogy wanted to wanted to run it on Switch, see if it worked, and he did, and it worked great on the Switch, and it was basically like by chance. These third-party developers don't even recognize the Switch as a console. They just move on and publish games with the greedy microtransactions that nobody wants. Maybe it's a good thing these games are not on the Switch, because most of these games are just microtransaction, loot box infested garbage that nobody wants. But maybe it's just me. But it was someone else too. It was like some like Nintendo fan account just on YouTube. They were complaining too. Like the third parties just don't even see the Switch exists. They say, "Oh, PS4, Xbox One, or what's a Switch?" Or the next Call of Duty game. Call of Duty games came out on the Wii U, Wii, GameCube, but all of a sudden, no Call of Duty games for the Switch. Sorry, but you can't have Call of Duty on the Switch. Despite them making DS versions, making Wii versions. Just because the games didn't sell on the Wii U? Well, the Switch is the Wii U. Okay, so they're so worried that the games are not going to sell because of the Wii U. Even though Smash Ultimate sold 10 million copies, even though Let's Go Pikachu and Eevee sold 10 million copies, if a game sells 10 million copies on a console, the console's not a flop. Mario Odyssey and Mario Kart 8 Deluxe and Breath of the Wild all sold 10 million copies. It will be likely that Sword and Shield and Animal Crossing for the Switch will sell 10 million copies as well. Both of them. And that's basically it. Third-party companies hate money. They only want money from loot boxes, not from actual people who want to buy games. Because if it was up to me, I'll probably put my game on every console possible. Not avoid the Switch because, the game won't be good because game won't look good. There are some examples of games that don't look good on the Switch. Let's look at Ark Survival Evolved for Switch. A game that was clearly rushed out for the holidays. So, basically, the third-party companies are dumb. And people can still continue buying the Switch without playing Anthem and Destiny and all these third-party hits that sell well on PS4 and Xbox One. And it's just dumb. That's basically it. Make sure you like, share, and subscribe. And goodbye.